the Montage, Laguna Beach today, my favorite place, my happy place, so that I could have a serious talk with you all about my why and why it's important to know what your why is. I brought you guys out here to the beach, to the ocean, so we could talk about why I started to lose weight. So my last vlog was about where I started and kind of how I started, but this is about everything that went on in my mind to get me started. And the first thing that I had to discover was, why was I allowing myself to be over 300 pounds? What were the things that went on in my head? What were the scripts, the self-talk that I was telling myself that allowed me to get to this place? And in order to do that, I had to look all the way back into my childhood, as many of us do. And this is a little heavy, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw out a trigger warning in case anybody is triggered about talking about abuse. It's a great time for you to stop watching this and wait for my next vlog to come out. But as a child, I experienced sexual abuse several times. I don't really want to go into detail on that on a vlog, but I just want you to kind of hold on to that thought, put a pin in it for a second, because we're going to come back to that. What I would like to fast forward to is to me at about 14, whoo, water got me, me at about 14 years old. I am at a water ski weekend, church camp, and I'm getting pulled aside by this woman, about 40 years old, telling me, Hillary, you're causing men here to stumble because you're playing basketball, and they're seeing like your boobs bouncing, and if you are not familiar with Christianese, causing them to stumble means I am somehow provoking them to have sexual thoughts about me. So, mind you, I'm wearing like a Speedo zip-up swimsuit, a tank top over that, and some flannel pajama bottoms. Not that it would matter if I wasn't, but I'm just setting the scene for you. So, my little 14-year-old self, who's already terrified of men because I've already had this experience we brought up already in my childhood, I don't know what to do. And because I was involved in this particular church group, I kind of stayed within this one church group for many years. And because I was a pretty girl, because I was a girl who had this very voluptuous body, I was taught that my body was wrong. My body was provocative. My body caused men to do bad things. I can't tell you how many times I was pulled aside to be told, Hillary, you are causing my husband to think bad thoughts about you. Hillary, you know, you can't wear that. Pretty soon, Hillary is trying to lose the boobs because they're a constant source of discussion, and Hillary's 90 pounds. I'm not eating. I'm a freshman in high school. I'm not eating because I am thinking if I don't eat, I'll lose all this boob weight, but it didn't work. And we go through high school, and I get a lot of attention from a lot of men, and a lot of girls would love that, but because of my past experiences, it terrifies me. And then I get to college, and in college, whoo, I'm gonna get hit by a wave. And in college, I was sexually assaulted twice. So it, again, reiterated, Hillary, you have this body that makes men do these things, right? Because I didn't have anyone in my life saying, this isn't your fault. These are perverted old men who are looking at and tempted by a young girl's body that are doing these bad things. I felt it on myself. And we flash forward a few more years, and I've had some children, and some very significant people in my life start dying. And it started with my good friend hung himself. And moving from there, family members died, my daughter, my dad. I'm feeling a lot of grief, and I'm eating. And as I'm eating, I'm realizing the bigger I get, obviously I take up more space, so I should be more visible, but I realize it's an invisibility cloak. I become invisible. The bigger I get, the less visible I am. Men no longer are catcalling me. They're not trying to hit on me everywhere I go. It's great. I am able to hide in my own body. So, I eventually, though, got to a point where I realized I was hiding, where I realized I couldn't be comfortable with my body, I couldn't be comfortable with my sexuality, I couldn't be comfortable with anything that was going on in my life because I was hiding all the time. And I looked at my kids and my daughter and I went, we need a better life. We need a better way of life. I need to show my daughter that she's okay. She is at the age now that I was when I was having these people tell me these things. And of course, now that I have a daughter, it gives me that perspective, right? Of course, if somebody said they were having sexual thoughts about my little 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl, I'll go after them. That's their fault, not hers. I can clearly see that when it's somebody else. I had a harder time when it was myself. So that was my why that got me started. But then what happens? You say, okay, I'm gonna start. And you go, I'm gonna join a gym, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna go for walks after dinner, I'm gonna, you know, find something online, I'm gonna do something, and you think you're going to solve it. All that mess in your head by just eating right and exercising. And it's a start, and it's good, but you have to deal with your why as well. You've got to get into what brought me here. Why am I here? So now I know that I have been accepting lies that have been told to me by other people, that I have been lying to myself, that I don't have a healthy body image, I don't have a healthy relationship with food. So if I'm going to get rid of all of this extra weight, then I'm going to have to work on, yes, that diet, that nutrition, that exercise, get in my cardio, get in my lifting, sure, all of that. But most importantly, I need to start taking those steps to get in a healthy place in my mind. So I had to learn that I needed to fight for myself. I needed to learn that there was no knight in shining armor coming down my street. There was no diet plan or online group or person. There was not someone who was going to come and save me from myself. I needed to be my own knight in shining armor. I needed to save myself. And so as I started exercising, as I started eating right, as I started taking steps towards loving and taking care of myself, I began to view myself in a new way, and I put the work in to begin to view myself in a new way. I surrounded myself with new people in my life. I excused a lot of people from my life, and I got to a place, this is years down the road, where if you ask me to describe myself, I'll tell you I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior. I fight for myself so that I can be the best mom I can be for my kids. I'll tell you my why is so that I can be comfortable with who I am and with the body that I have. I'm proud of it. Every person that wants to complain because I post a selfie or a picture of my body, you have no idea what I went through to get to the place to be able to do that. And I'm gonna keep doing that. And I want you guys so badly to start your journey so that you can get to a healthy place with your body and your mind. And I'm gonna next throw up the 3 ways that I started. So what steps can you take to start that journey towards your why, towards what got you to a place where you needed to change, and what is going to be your catalyst in moving forward? And the first thing you have to do is identify your truths. You need to have a really honest conversation with yourself, and sometimes that's really hard to do. If you need help, ask somebody to help evaluate it with you. Ask a good friend, ask a parent, ask a counselor, anybody that can help you evaluate yourself and the way that you're thinking, so that you can identify those things that are causing you to be in whatever place in your life you are that you want to change. Step 2 would be honest with somebody else. Once you have been honest with yourself, share those truths with somebody so that you can be accountable for moving forward and for your goals and for continuing that self-exploration. And step 3, love yourself through it. You are gonna mess up. You are gonna fall back into old habits. You are going to do things that you regret. You're not just going to walk in this enlightened truth with a halo over your head going, I understand now, so now I've got it all figured out. It is a lifelong process to work towards being your best self. It is a lifelong process to stay healthy. As your circumstances in life change, you will need to adjust to those circumstances, and you will need to learn and grow again and again and again. But give yourself grace, love yourself through it, and you'll be on your way.